Sometimes you watch a football game that's like a perfect chess match. And other times, you watch a game that's more like a brawl, where both fighters keep tripping over their own feet. Well, that's exactly what we got in the Week 6 showdown between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. It was a wild, messy game that was ultimately decided by one single question. In a game absolutely littered with mistakes, who was going to make the final, fatal one? This thing wasn't about some brilliant next-level strategy. Nope. This was about survival. It was a gritty, sloppy contest where the win was just kind of sitting there, waiting for one team to finally stop trying to give it away. So right from the jump, this thing was a total defensive slugfest. The type. Both offenses would get a little something going, move the ball a bit, and then, bam, run straight into a brick wall. It was a classic stalemate, with neither side able to land a real significant blow.
Early on, the only real difference was which team could just not mess up. The Bears, for their part, managed to grind out a couple of long, methodical drives. They didn't get touchdowns, but they came away with points. 2 field goals from Jake Moody. The Commanders, though, they put together a promising drive of their own, but it came to a screeching halt thanks to a huge turnover.
And you can just hear it in the call. Jaden Daniels is looking for his man, but Brisker reads it the hallway and steps right in front for the pick. And the announcer just nails it, right? Forcing turnovers was pretty much the one thing the Bears defense was doing well. And in a game this tight, that single play felt massive. But just when it looked like the Bears kind of had a handle on things, somebody flipped the script entirely. All of a sudden, Washington's offense, which had been sputtering, just roared to life. And they didn't just find their rhythm, they took complete control of the game. And man, it happened fast. It was like a rapid-fire assault. First, you get this fantastic spinning touchdown catch by Chris Moore in the corner of the end zone. Then, a total defensive breakdown leaves Luke McCaffrey so wide open he could have walked in. And to cap it off, Zach Ertz finds a huge seam right over the middle for another score. We're talking 3 straight possessions, 3 touchdowns. Washington was absolutely rolling. So, with the Commanders lighting up the scoreboard like that, all the pressure swings right back onto the Bears' offense. What's the response going to be? Well, the answer was not great. Their drive started stalling out, and all that frustration boiled over in a moment that honestly felt like it could have been the nail in the coffin.
Oh, you can just feel the electricity in that broadcast call. The Bears line up for a field goal, trying to stop the bleeding, but the kick comes out low. Washington's line gets this enormous push, gets a hand on it, and it's blocked. It was just a massive, game-changing special teams play, and you could feel all the momentum swing right back to Washington.
And after all of that chaos, this is where we stood. As we head into the final quarter, the Commanders are up by 14 points, a 2-touchdown lead. For all intents and purposes, it really looked like their offensive explosion had put this game completely out of reach. But remember what this game is all about, right? Mistakes. And just when victory seemed like a sure thing for Washington, the single biggest error of the entire night happened. And believe me, it changed absolutely everything. And you have to understand the situation here. It is 3rd down and just 1 single yard to go. Washington's got the ball, they've got a 2-score lead, and it's late in the game. You pick up this 1 yard, and you can basically run out the rest of the clock. This is it. This is the moment you seal the win. And then, disaster. The announcer's stunned wow really says it all. It's a simple handoff between Jaden Daniels and Krosky Merritt, but it's totally botched. The exchange is never clean, the ball just pops out and hits the turf, and the Bears fall on it. At the most critical moment of the game, Washington literally fumbled the win away, handing a lifeline right back to Chicago.
And let's be really clear about what this was. This wasn't some incredible defensive play or a guy making a great strip. This was a textbook unforced error. It was a fundamental mistake on a routine play that had nothing to do with what the defense did. It was a self-inflicted wound of the absolute worst kind.
So, after being handed this completely unexpected gift, the Bears suddenly had the ball back with a chance to do the unthinkable. The question was, could they actually take this second life they'd been given and turn it into a game-winning drive?
And they were flawless. Caleb Williams gets it started, hitting his rookie tight end Loveland to move the chains. And from there, it basically became the DeAndre Swift show. He rips off a big run to the right for a 1st down, then he gets it again, finds a little seam, and powers his way down inside the 20. There was no panic, just calm, methodical execution, putting the ball exactly where it needed to be for one final play.
So after a whole game of turnovers, blocked kicks, and fumbled snaps, it all boiled down to this one number, 38. One kick from 38 yards away was going to decide the entire thing. The snap comes back a little high, But the hold is perfect. Jake Moody steps into it, and it is right down the pipe. The Bears complete the unbelievable comeback. After a night full of mistakes, Jake Moody becomes the hero by capitalizing on the one mistake that mattered most.
Which really leaves us with just one final question to chew on. What do we call this? Was it a resilient, hard-fought victory for a Bears team that just refused to quit? Or was it just a lucky escape in a game that for long stretches felt like both teams were actively trying to lose? Honestly, that's the beauty of a game like this. The answer is probably somewhere right in the middle.